Okay, so recording is on. Okay, so in last class we completed verse number 7, and I'll just do a quick recap. Verse 7, we understood um, the disease. First of all, unless we know the problem, we don't get to the solution. So, disease is aruchi. We do not have a ruchi in the holy name. Even the holy name is compared, or it's not. It's actually as sweet as sugar candy. It's very sweet. Once one all the Vrajvasis meaning those who are in the spiritual world, they relish that, but we are not able to relish. And that's natural because of our disease condition. Disease of what? Disease of avidya. Avidya means ignorance, and this is beginningless ignorance. It's mentioned by acharyas, this is anadi avidya. And I told like beginningless ignorance um about Lord Krishna. So no attraction to Lord Krishna from very beginning. And this beginning we can't trace, okay, at this thousands or millions years back, we become we showed our back to Krishna. It doesn't like it. It's like beginningless, we can't trace also. It's from the very start of where we are. So that means maybe we can't even count in terms of years, it's infinite. And that's why because of so much bahirmukh, it's called bahirmukh. We are not conducive. We have this taste disease for so many years, and it takes time to go down. And the only way to reduce this disease state of jaundice is to two things to be done, which Rupan Goswami says in the verse. Where is that? Yeah, two things is to do it every day and with other. Okay. The verse was say Tannam Rup Charitadi Sukirtinanu Smrityo Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya Tishta. No, this is not, this is the verse 8. Wait, where is verse 7? Yeah, here. So Adarad and Anudinam. Anudinam means every day. We have to take that medicine every day. That means they take the holy name, chant. That's why Prabhupada recommended do it without fail, no matter what happens. And with other. Other means with respect, which means do it with attention, not casually. So take the medicine with faith, with other, and then medicine will work and we will get the ruchi. That is for sure because this is coming from Rupa Goswami. Anyone knows who is Rupa Goswami in Krishna Lila? Anyone? No? No? Mataji, Nityanita Mataji, you know who is Rupa Goswami in Krishna Lila? Okay, so Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari, who is always with Srimati Radharani in the Nitya Leela, right? So she is Rupa Manjari. So she is very close to Srimati Radharani. So that is our Rupa Goswami. So whatever he writes here, it's not that theoretically he's writing, right? He's direct in contact every day with Krishna and Srimati Radharani in Nitya Leela, right? So Rupa Manjari. So two things, Adar and Anudinam. Now next part we go to verse 8 today. So this is number verse 8. Okay. Okay. Let me go to the full screen. So all these verses are written very in a poetic way. Poetic way means we can sing these verses. Like these are all great personalities. They know the Sanskrit, Vyakaran, Chanda Vyakaran. So, so I'll just sing this verse. It's same as how we sing Brahma Samhita. तन्नाम रूप चरितादि सुकीर्तनानु मृत्यो क्रमेण रसनामनसि नियोज्य तिष्ठन् व्रजेतदनुरागी जनानुगामी कालं नयेदखिलम् इति उपदेशसारम्. So again, the verse verse is in 14 syllables, and this meter in which we were singing has a special name, Vasant Tilakam. Verse number 6, 7, 8 are in same tone or same meter, all written identical in terms of Sanskrit, like 14 syllables per line. And okay, now we go to the word to word meaning of this verse. Okay, because when we understand each and every word in Sanskrit and put it in our head and then arrange those words in a way that it makes sense, a meaningful sentence, then it's easier to retain the meaning. Like you don't have to mug up the meaning, because once you mug up, that means you have not internalized it. It's still external and it will go away. That's whatever you mug up. If you after 6 months or 4 months, it will go away. But once we have understood the Sanskrit terms with their meanings, so then we will understand and it will remain. So again, I will say Sanskrit, and I need one volunteer to say the English meaning. Hilesh Prabhu, yes, let's do. So Tisthan.
Prabhuji, are you going to the next screen?
I think this has some problem. I already was there, but let me do again. Yeah, can you now see the next screen which has those Sanskrit
Yes,
and
Prabhuji.
okay. So let's do Tishthan
While residing
Praje
in Vraja,
Anugami
a devout follower
Jana
of individuals
Tad Anuragi
attached to Vraja
Naed
should spend
Akhilam
one's entire
Kalam
time
Niyojya
by investing
Rasana Manasi
one's tongue and mind,
Kramena
respectively,
Sukirtana Anusprityo
in joyous kirtana and repeated smarana
Tannam Rupa Charitadi
of the name, form, character, etc. of Krishna and his associates.
Iti
This indeed is
Padesha Saram.
the essence of all instruction.
So now read this. Let me go next. Read the translation. Oh, I think I need to minimize it and then again do. Okay.
While residing in Vraja, a devout follower of individuals attached to Vraja should spend one's entire time by investing one's tongue and mind, respectively, in joyous kirtana and repeated smarana of the name, form, character, etc. of Krishna and his associates. This is indeed the essence of all instruction.
So that is the word to word meaning of this verse. Plain vanilla translation, like just word to word. But it has a very deep meaning.
Mm.
And this verse is from this verse, it's basically the Raganuga Bhakti. This verse is specifically applicable for Raganuga Bhakti or Raganuga Bhajan. Okay. Just to give you a few background, the sadhan bhakti is in two kinds. One is Vaidhi bhakti, one is Raganuga. And then we have Bhav bhakti and then Prem bhakti. So these are three stages in bhakti. Sadhan bhakti, Bhav bhakti, Prem bhakti. Our goal is to reach Prem bhakti. So at that stage is when we will have the natural love awakened or developed for Krishna. Now, even in Sadhan Bhakti, there is Vedi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti, right? Now, the difference between two is is Vedi Bhakti one does because like because it's mentioned in Shastras, it's mentioned by the gurus to do that, but you really do not yet have the real taste or the ruchi, right? Ruchi has not awakened. And that's why it's called regulative principles. The mind does not, what you call, cooperate in doing this. So we have to make an effort, or sadhak has to make an effort from his end to do a bhakti. And it does not sound sweet, sounds bitter, like taking the holy name, sitting in a class, chanting kirtan. But there would be, this verse is applicable for someone who wants to progress further and enter into Raganuga Bhakti. But again, Raganuga Bhakti is not for everyone. That is also there. Um, like it is for few individuals who want to advance and want to do a particular kind of bhajan. So this bhajan which we are talking, this verse is specifically talking about the bhajan done by Vrajvasis, those who are living in Vraja, right? And Raganuga Bhakti is to follow in the footsteps of a Vrajvasi, one of the Vrajvasis, and acquire his mood or do the bhajan in the mood that Vrajvasi is doing. Okay, that is the Raganuga Bhakti. And by doing that, you also get the mood, one of the mood, and then you just do. And also, oh, I see Abhiram Prabhu joining. Hare Krishna. So this verse is
Hey, Prabhu.
specifically for, it's also known as Braj Bhakti, it's Raganuga Bhakti. And that's why Rupa Goswami is saying, in previous verse, he says that one has to do, take the name of and hear pastimes with respect and every day. It's fine, that is for everyone. After that, once you advance and reach to a state where you need to do further advancement, then this verse is applicable, where one probably needs to go from Vedi to Raganuga Marg. And for this verse, also you need to follow a guru who is engaged in Raganuga Bhakti, just to see the mark, because Raganuga Bhakti happens through mind. That's why it says here, by investing one's tongue and mind, respectively, in joyous kirtan and repeated smaran of the name, form, character. Okay, so Raganuga Bhakti just not, it doesn't happen just with tongue. Like we say chant and hear, right? But here mind is also involved in Raganuga Bhakti. And that's why, and it has to be joyous, joyous kirtan with one's tongue and mind. And then smaran comes in this Raganuga Bhakti. You have to do smaran, or the sadhaka in Raganuga Bhajan Marg does a smaran. We'll discuss all these points. But this bhakti is specifically restricted to the Vraja. Now we'll also understand what is the definition of Vraja. What does Rupa Goswami mean by Vraja or Vrajvasi? Okay, but detailed discussion about on Raganuga Bhakti comes in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, where Rupa Goswami just talks about pure devotion service and sadhan bhakti, Raganuga Bhakti, and he goes further, like really. So again, just to conclude or summarize, so this verse is specifically applicable to Raganuga Bhajan and to those who want to enter Raganuga Bhakti. And as I was saying, amongst so many performing bhakti, only very few will be will have that taste for Raganuga Bhakti. It's not automatic that everyone will go to this mark, this path. So as we know, the 8 stages, like it starts with Shraddha and Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, right? So there is a stage which comes Ruchi, Nishtha, Asakti, Prem. So through Vedhi Marg also one can reach to a stage of Prem. But that Prem would be different than the Prem which the Raganuga Bhajan will do. Okay, so both margs go parallel, but the Vedhi Marg will take to the Prem which is mixed with lot of this awe and reverence. Like you cannot be informal with Krishna, right? You have to be formal. So, so Vedhi Marg, one can become perfect in Vedhi, also reach to a Prem stage, but the destination would be at max, a, sadhaka can reach to become the one of the queens in Dwarka. That is the Vedi mark, like queens in Dwarka, or even in Golok Vrindavan. There are places where Ashwarya is prominent. So Vedi Bhaktas go to that part of Golok Vrindavan if they are worshipping Radha Krishna. And Raganuga Marg is goes uh, to the prem, which is spontaneous and no formality, and then one can develop um, Sakhya, Vatsalya, or Madhurya, like that. Okay. So let's go further.
So, Prabhu, question. So we can never get to that stage of prema, because we are doing Vaidhi bhakti, right? We are on that path. So for us to
Yeah.
get to that stage, of course, I'm just
Yeah. So we need to
it's a
first
long.
know it's a journey, but if someone wants, nothing prohibiting for one to progress in that path. All we need to get to is to get into the Raganuga Marg, you need a Raganuga Guru who can guide you in that Marg. It can be Diksha Guru, it can be Siksha Guru also. So there is a specific bhajan for the Raganuga Marg, which needs to be done under the supervision of Guru, and then one can enter or achieve that. We'll discuss that part. Like I think your question is, if someone is on Vedi Marg, how he can transition to Raganuga Marg, at what stage and how, right? All that. So there is a quotation in the purport also, and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj mentioned that. But one can reach that. See, if it is impossible to reach, then Rupa Goswami will not give this instruction. Right? This instruction is for devotees. So this is all doable, possible. It just depends on how eager we are to attain. If we are really hungry, then Krishna being Atmaram sitting in our heart will show us the way. But if we are satisfied where we are, then that's for Vedi. So Vedi mark is for everyone. Now Raganuga mark is for selected few. And the only criteria for Raganuga mark is known as, what was that Sanskrit term? Greediness actually. I'm forgetting the Sanskrit term. Lobha,
Lolium,
greediness,
Prabhuji. Lolium.
Lolium, yes.
Volume.
Lolium is the term. All you need is just the lolium, the greediness to follow this mark. That's it. You don't have to be pure devotee, or you don't have to be advanced devotee. Sometimes there is misconception. One has to be an advanced stage, or one has to be pure. Nothing like that. All you need is a lolium to follow this path. And then once you have the lolium, we'll discuss how to enter. And then you need to have a guru who can guide you to take you to that path. Okay. So Vrajvasi, okay, I was talking. So here it says Raganuga Bhakti is done by following in the mood and footsteps of a Vrajvasi. Now this Vrajvasi is not a Vrajvasi which we think residing in Vrindavan, like you just go to Vrindavan and follow anyone there. This is Vrajvasi referring to eternal Vraja, meaning who are already in the eternal pastimes with Lord Krishna. To give you a few examples of Vrajvasi, Lalita Sakhi is Vrajvasi. Sudama, Krishna's friend, Sridam, Arjun, all these are Vrajvasis. Rupa Goswami, as in his eternal identity as Rupa Manjari, is Vrajvasi. Like that, Vishaka, Lalita, like that. There are so many Vrajvasi or in Krishna Leela n number. So we have to follow in their mood under the instruction of Guru. But how will you know whom to follow? Nobody can tell you. Nobody can tell you that you follow this, you follow that. No, that has to come from within, based on one's innate desire. That's why there is no what you call, cannot institutionalize Raganuga mark that okay, you do this and you enter. No, it's very individualistic path, and one has to discover on its own. And you need a guru just so that you can share what you are feeling, and then he can guide. Yeah, you are on right track, and then he can guide you on the bhajan part of it. Like you need to do this kind of bhajan. It's different bhajan. because in this bhajan you have to have a smaran also involved. It's not simply 16 rounds of chanting and follow 4 regularity principles. There is a smaran also involved here. That's why Rupa Goswami says that while residing in Vraja, a devout follower of individuals attached to Vraja should spend one's entire time investing one's tongue and mind. So mind is required to do smaran, respectively in joyous kirtan. It should be joyous. Like the key thing is it should be joyous, not that forcefully one is made to sit in kirtan and then he's looking here and there. So a joyous kirtan and repeated smaran of the name, form, character of Krishna, his leela, pastimes, associates, everything. And this is indeed the essence of all instruction, like all Srimad, everything, if you put it into one, this is the instruction, essence of all instruction. Okay. Let's go further. Why mind is involved here? Because since the mind may be one's enemy or friend, we have already known. So one has to train the mind to be a friend. And Krishna consciousness movement is about
Can
changing
you
the consciousness.
move this because we can't see the
Yeah,
next
I will.
Yes.
I
Okay,
think I
okay.
need to
Sorry.
minimize and then maximize. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
So that's why Srila Prabhupada named the movement as Krishna Bhavanam Nitra. Like we have to change the consciousness, and to change that, we have to spiritualize the mind, train the mind to be always engaged in Krishna's business. Because if we can do that, then mind can cooperate, and the smaran part can happen only through mind. We cannot do smaran just with tongue and ear here. We have to have a mind there, and that's where it becomes little difficult to follow this Raganuga mark because one has to conquer the mind and engage the mind in Smaran. But there is a beginning. Okay, so why we train the mind? Functions of uncontrolled mind can be dangerous. We all know what we remember at death determines our next body. Therefore, Rupa Goswami advises us to train the mind so that it cannot but think of Krishna at the time of death. Similarly, he also tells us that to engage the tongue in speaking only of Krishna and to take only Krishna prasad. Okay, so now this was, I think, yeah, this is from Raganuga Bhakti perspective. This verse, Bhakti Rasambi Sindhu 1.2.294, 295. This is what one should reside in Vraja. We'll discuss later what does it mean to reside in Vraja. But the Vraja which Rupa Goswami mentions in the verse is different than today's Vraj. Right? Today, Vraj, we see all concrete, everything. The Vraja in that time is different. So, if one can reside physically, it's good. But before one resides there physically, one has to prepare mentally. Because once you, let's say, go to Vraja, but what you will do there, that is more important. So sometimes people or devotees immaturely decides to buy a property in Vrindavan and they plan to live there. But before that, preparation has to happen within the mind. Like, am I prepared to do that bhajan in Vraja, that kind of bhajan? And because if you just go there and not do anything, or just simply doing what you are doing today, like reading about television, politics, this, that, and chit chatting, it doesn't, then you're not residing in Vraja. Even though physically you are there, but you are not there. While if you are mentally meditating on Vraja, even if you are not there in Vraja, you are there. It's more, as I was saying, mansik. So one has to have a mansik Vraja. First, the Vraja has to be developed in the mind. And for that, at least one should visit, because unless you go there, you don't know what's there. And then go there, visit the Leela Sthali, and try to get attraction to Vraja, some fondness and memories, fond memories, and then meditate on that once you are back, right? So that is what it means. More than physically, it's a mental. So we have to have a mental Vraja, for lack of better words, kind of a framework. Okay, this is our Vraja. Then you can mentally be there. Every day you can be there in Vraja. You can every day doing parikrama, just mentally you do. Because this Raganuga mark is more of a mental. It's through Mansik Seva. Okay. Second part is it should be under the shelter of an advanced devotee. We cannot be independent on this mark, meaning, okay, I'm doing this, I'm thinking this. No, we had to be under the shelter of advanced devotee who should be or who knows that Raganuga bhajan. Okay. That's why I was telling in the previous class from verse number 7 to 11, it only applies to initiated devotees who have a guru. Because for this to practice, you need a guru. It could be a Diksha Guru or it could be a Shiksha Guru also. But the Guru should be advanced and he should be already in the mark so that he can guide someone on this path. Then absorbed in remembrance of Krishna and his associates. Follow in the footsteps of a particular associate, enter under their direct eternal guidance and shelter. That is, this following in the footsteps of particular associate this is the eternal associate, and the Guru can guide you. Like when we start hearing Krishna Katha, so slowly we need to see where our mood is, where our innate desire is, and then we want to follow some eternal associate of Krishna. Like it could be in anyone, like. And this method is applicable both in the stage of sadhana and sadhya. Like this is in itself a sadhana. This is not a perfected state. Sometimes we feel Raganuga Bhakti is something to be done at perfected level, like one has to be so much advanced. No, that is not the case. It had to be done or started at the sadhana level. That's why it still falls under sadhana bhakti. Otherwise, it would have fallen under bhav or prem bhakti, but it doesn't fall under bhav or prem bhakti. It still falls under sadhana bhakti. So, because as I was saying, the only qualification is to have that lolyam. There is no other qualification for this. And that lolyam is something which is, you can't buy it or someone says it, you can't. So lolyam can be, again, that mood can be given or acquired either from previous life samskara. Like if you had this samskara from previous lives and you have been practicing, then you will get that. Or if the Gurujana blesses you with the mercy of Guru, or Krishna also can give that. So, but you cannot acquire that lolyam externally, like from any other means. Like you can't buy it. Like, okay, I'll go there and get this, or I'll do that. So that is where it is. So now let's go to the stages of remembrance. This is most important. How one can. No, this is not. These are the stages of not the remembrance. Sorry, this is the dashas. Like how can one enter into Raganuga Marg? This is very much clear.
Prabhu, are you moving the slide? Sorry to interrupt. We are still at
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay,
I need to just
sorry.
revise and then.
Shravan, we are in Shravan
Shravan
Das.
Das.
Okay.
So first thing, as in a neophyte stage. Neophyte stage means the beginning stage, right? One has to hear Shravan Das. One has to become Das. Shravan Das means constant hearing about Krishna's name, form, pastime, etc. Everything. This etc. covers everything. Krishna and his associate. So Krishna Leela, name, importance of Krishna, name, forms. So one has to get attraction to Krishna's Katha, Krishna Leela. Wherever Katha is happening, you should automatically get attracted and go there. No matter in another part, you are going to, let's say, you are going to get millions of dollars on other side, let's say, but you still get automatically attracted to where the Krishna name or Katha is going on. That is the dasha, like. So constantly hearing about Krishna, then only this is in the beginning stage, like Shravan dasha. I think we discussed previously also, I told this is the, you can say, a broad framework or steps. Then comes Varan dasha, where one is very much attached to hearing, right? Acceptance attached to hearing. One just wherever there is the Krishna Katha happening, one is just pulled, like like it says that wherever Ram Katha is happening, Hanumanji automatically get attracted and pulled, like he just be there same way. Wherever Krishna Katha happening, you are attracted. And at this stage, Varan Dasha, sadhaka also begins to perform kirtan of the topics that he's been hearing and relishing. So he will hear, relish, and also kirtan of the topic explain to others, recite that katha to others. So this is Varan Dasha, second Dasha. third dasha is the Smaran dasha, Smaran Avastha, which is the remembrance, stage of remembrance. Now, this is not, again, forceful remembrance. Like initially, it would be, we have to make an effort, but it should be enjoyable recollection of Krishna's Leela. And it had to be, the key word here is it should be enjoyable. If the enjoyment is not there, then the Smaran is not a Raganuga Smaran, it becomes a Vedi. Like you have been told to do this, so you are doing this. But the key thing is the enjoyment part. And in English, the real word is reminiscence. If you hear the dictionary meaning or Google it, reminiscence means something you recollect and you relish and you and then enjoy. Like, for example, just to give mundane, sometimes we relish our school days, how the school, last day of the school just before summer vacation, and we are ready to have entered into the two months of summer vacation or Christmas vacation, and we reminisce, we have fond memories, and we get bliss when we recall. So it's like that kind of recollection. And then comes after the Smaran Dasha is fully developed, then one enters into Apan Dasha, which is at this stage, Apan Dasha, one understands his spiritual identity. What is his spiritual identity with respect to Krishna? So in this Smaran Dasha, when he's doing remembrance, and when you are listening to Krishna Katha, you will automatically feel that you are attracted to this part of Krishna Katha, whether it's a Sakhya Katha, Sakhya Ras or Vatsalya, you will feel and then you identify, or you will take sides. You have a preference to hear particular kind of Katha. And then when you are doing Smaran, you recollect. So slowly, that spiritual identity is developing within your mind. And at the stage of Apan Dasha, one understands that this is my spiritual identity. This is what I want to be with Krishna, or I have the relationship or want. And Krishna then bestows that. He gives his mercy. And then at the last Sampatti Dasha, one clearly and perfectly understands his eternal position. And at this stage, one becomes eligible to go and have be in association with Krishna. So one clearly and perfectly understands his eternal relationship with Krishna. After Apanna Dasha, the sadhaka automatically attains Sampatti Dasha, the final attainment of being situated as an eternal associate of Krishna in Nitya Leela. So this is the final. All these dashas are mentioned in purport of this verse. And that's why this verse is very important, because it's nowhere else mentioned about this Raganuga Bhajan and these different stages. Only in verse 8 of Nectar of Instruction very clearly gives. Okay. So the beginning point is to hear about Krishna's name, form, pastimes. And if possible, from Rasik devotees. Rasik devotee means who had that prem or that love. So, and now we will find who are those Rasik devotees. So that is the thing. We have to find who are those devotees and then listen to those devotees, the katha from them, and try to develop attraction to Krishna. Then without natural attraction, without natural love, next Varandasha won't happen. And then Smaranavastha and all following dashas won't happen. So it's like one has to start at the Shravan Dasha. So I'll show you where it is mentioned so you can read yourself also.
Prabhu,
This is, yes.
can I quickly ask a question? I'm just a little, can you explain a little bit more about Apan and Sampatti Dasha? Because Apan is also, you're saying you know your spiritual identity, and then Sampatti is your relationship with Krishna. So isn't it kind of similar in a way, or when you
So
get
let
to
me
that
read here,
point?
yeah.
Okay.
Let me read this paragraph. In the neophyte stage, one should always engage in hearing Krishna Katha. This is called Shravan Dasa. Okay, first stage, the stage of hearing. By constant hearing, the transcendental holy name of Krishna and hearing of his transcendental form, qualities, and pastimes, one can attain to the stage of acceptance called Varan Dasha, second stage Varan. So this is the stage of attachment. One gets attached for hearing process. As I was saying, automatically get pulled wherever Krishna Katha happening, and you don't need to make an effort. Like wherever class is going on, you will just get attracted. So when, see, Prabhupada says, when one attains this stage, he becomes attached to hearing of Krishna Katha. And one will also be able to recite uh, what he's relishing. So he will want to naturally recite to others also. After that, it comes Smaran Avastha, which is when one is able to chant in ecstasy. He attains the stage of Smaran Avastha, the stage of remembering. Now, this Smaran Avastha has 5 further stages. We'll discuss each of them, but recollection, absorption, meditation, constant remembrance, and trance. At first, remembrance of Krishna may be interrupted, but later remembrance proceeds uninterrupted. That is the thing where Krishna says, at the time of that, you remember me. The remembrance would be uninterrupted, so you will remember Krishna. But initially, it would be interrupted. When remembrance is uninterrupted, it becomes concentrated. It's called meditation. When meditation expands and becomes constant, it is anusmriti. By uninterrupted and unceasing anusmriti, one enters the stage of samadhi, of spiritual trance. After Smaran Dasha has fully developed. So all these stages which Prabhupada mentions is these 5, which is in the Smaran only. After Smaran has fully developed, soul comes to
Prabhu,
the
we're not
understand.
able to see the screen. I'm so sorry. I'm bothering you all the time. I know
How come?
we were just on this progressive stages of remembrance, that screen. I think you need to
Oh,
move to the other slide. Yeah.
no, I was showing the Veda base.
Oh, I can't see. I don't.
I cannot see either.
Yeah, Veda base. No, we're not.
Okay, now, then I need to share again. I don't know why it's this thing. Can you see now? Veda base, I
Yes,
stop
yes,
sharing
yes.
and shared
Yes,
again.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
Prabhu. Now we're able to see it.
Okay. So after I was just reading this paragraph, you can read again. After Smaran Dasha or Samadhi has fully developed, the soul comes to understand his constitutional position. At that time, he can perfectly and clearly understand his eternal relation. This is called Sampatti Dasha. So between Sampatti Dasha and Smaran, there is one more, which is Apan Dasha. Let me go back. So in the beginning, Smaran you are doing, but when Smaran is fully developed, then you understand your spiritual identity. But understanding spiritual identity is not enough. Then you have to serve Lord Krishna with that spiritual identity, right? That is called Mansik Seva. You will serve Krishna in that identity. And that is once it becomes more refined, more what you call more advanced by practice, then you automatically attain Sampatti Dasha, which is the final attainment of being situated as an eternal associate of Krishna in Nitya Leela. So just to tell you our answer, like Apan Dasha is when you understand your identity and start serving in that identity. And when that stage is also perfected, then you automatically enters or becomes Sampatti Dasha, where it's a final attainment. Okay. Now this answers, let me go back. Yeah, Abhiram Prabhu, I saw your hand raised.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we have seen in Vrindavan, there are a lot of devotees. They may be rasik, or they may be elevated to
Hmm.
some
Yes.
level where they are doing austerities, like they are doing Dandvati
Hmm.
Parikrama of Vraj. Right? Like it is like 11 kilometers they are doing that. It takes them maybe a few weeks, maybe a few months. So how, like, what, like, we are not here to judge anyone, but sometimes I feel like, if is that really required, like those kind of extreme austerities? And
No, not required. Actually, not required. Rupa Goswami does not mention anywhere any of that austerity. See, the main thing required is, see, the main idea of parikrama is not just the physical activity, right? We have to understand why anyone does the parikrama. Let's say we are doing Govardhan parikrama. If you are not enjoying the parikrama, then if it is simply a walking exercise where you say, okay, how much quicker I can do it, then that defeats like the purpose of parikrama is to relish and be with the person. Like if you love someone, then you want to be with that, spend time with that, quality time, right? So being in Vrindavan, like say when we go and doing parikrama, so relishing the pastimes which happens, understanding the pastimes and hearing katha at different places, lila sthalis, and then reminiscing, like that is what it is. Spending time there. That is why we do this Braj Mandal, right? Braj Mandal is all about how get attraction to Krishna's leelas. That is what it is. Not simply a physical exercise or even doing austerity, Danvati Parikrama and all. So we cannot say at what level they are, with what how they are doing Parikrama, uh, but it's not mandatory to do like that.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so this one is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's quote about someone on Vedi Marg and how he can enter Raganuga. So when the devotee on the path of Vedi
Oh, I
Bhakti...
think you need to change the screen again. I'm sorry, I'm just
Yeah, no, that's...
constantly reminding.
Yeah.
I think you have to stop sharing and then again
Then
share.
share, yeah.
Yeah, it's working like that.
Can you see now or no?
No, no.
This is really...
Yeah, it's working like that, I realized.
It's not...
Yeah,
now
now we can see. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So here, this is quote from... It's also mentioned in purport anyway. When the devotee on the path of Vedi Bhakti gives up material desires and takes seriously to the instruction of bona fide Guru and pure Vaishnavas, he develops the stage of Ruchi. Okay. Ruchi is the stage, right? Where you have now the taste, natural Ruchi. On this stage, he gives up the path of, I think it's Vedi, not Vaishi, Vedi Bhakti, and enters into Raganuga Bhakti. So that is the transition for Vedi Bhakta to enter Raganuga Bhakta. And also, he needs to have a guru, Raganuga guru, to guide him on that path. Could be, as I mentioned, Shiksha Guru or Diksha Guru. But this has to be done under a particular guru. And it cannot be generalized. That's why Prabhupada did not institutionalize. He institutionalized Vedi Bhakti. He gave the framework for performing Vedi Bhakti, like you follow 4 regulatory principle, chant 16 rounds, go every day to temple, do service there, all this. So Vedi Bhakti can be instituted, like you can create a framework, but for Raganuga you can't. But if you see Prabhupada, like Raganuga Bhakti is the core of Gaudiya Vaishnava. Like Gaudiya Vaishnava, this is the core. This is the speciality of being in Gaudiya Vaishnava, the Raganuga Bhakti. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started this marg and he came here to specifically give this. And then Gaudiya Vaishnava, all our acharyas I have been doing. Now, if you see, Srila Prabhupada has introduced Raganuga at a certain level. Like when we sing in Tulsi Arati, so there is a verse which comes back. By the way, Tulsi Arati is something which Prabhupada introduced in ISKCON. When he heard this Tulsi Arati, when he was staying in Radha Damodar Mandir, so there the Tulsi Arati used to happen. So introduced that. The Tulsi Arati or singing which we do is not, as far as I know, doesn't happen in Gaudiya Vaishnava. This is, and even in Tulsi Arati Bhajan, nobody knows who wrote that bhajan because the author of that bhajan did not mention his name. So there is a line comes, Dina Krishna Dase Koe Ei Mura Hoe Seva Adhikara Diye Koro Nij Dasi. Right? So we are asking the Adhikar to do Seva as what? Dasi. So Dasi, we are not asking even though we are Das, but we are asking the Adhikar to do Seva to whom Vrinda Devi to become Dasi. So that is Raganuga Bhakti. Right? Similarly, when we sing every day Shikshastakam, Not Shastrakam, sorry. That morning prayers.
Guru Ashtakam.
Guru Ashtakam. There also there is, if you look, let me just flash that. Guru Ashtakam. So Prabhupada already introduced Guru Ashtakam. Samsara Dava. Okay. So let me share my screen. You can see this Guru Ashtakam, or I have to again do stop share?
Yes, Prabhu, we can see it now.
Okay. So fifth paragraph, Shri Radhika Madhav Yurapara. Here, Madhurya Leela Guna Rupa Namna. If you see the translation, we are praising the spiritual master and saying the spiritual master is always eager to hear and chant about the unlimited conjugal pastimes of Radhika and Madhav and their qualities, names, and form. The spiritual master aspires to relish these at every moment. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of that spiritual master. So this is Raganuga. This is Raga. This is not Vedi. Vedi would be uh, someone being a devout follower of Narsingh Dev. That is Vedi. Narsingh Dev, you can't have Raganuga, right? But here we say that he's relishing and enjoying the conjugal unlimited pastimes of Sri Radhika and Madhav and their name form. And I pay obeisances to that spiritual master. Again, sixth line. Nikunjayu no rati keli sithe yayale biryo tera pekshaniya. Here, the spiritual master is very dear because he is expert in assisting the gopis who at different times make different tasteful arrangements for the protection of Radha Krishna's conjugal loving affairs. Within the groves of Vrindavan, I offer my humble obeisances unto my spiritual master. So, the spiritual master, the guru, which is being glorified in this Guru Ashtakam is the Raga, is the Guru who is already on the path of Raganuga Marg, right? So because he's expert in assisting gopis and he relishes that, so this is already there.
So Prabhu, if Guru is assisting gopis, it means that it is referring to Rupa Manjari then?
It could be anyone, right? It could be anyone. But yeah, it could be Rupa Manjari, it could, but we are all see from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there are different branches going. One is with Rupa Goswami. Our branch is Rupa Goswami. Now there is Nityanand Prabhu. There is another branch going, like the Gaudiya branch. So we are under the branch of Rupa. So that's why we also know as Rupa Nugas. And then further when Prabhupada comes, sometimes we say we are also Prabhupada Nugas. So yeah, Rupa Manjari is Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari. You know, right? I just mentioned also before, Rupa Manjari is eternal associate of Srimati Radhika Radharani, Rupa Manjari. So and this all this scriptures are given to us by whom? Rupa Goswami. Nectar of instruction. Next we'll discuss nectar of devotion. So all this is perfect, and this is not something he's writing theoretically, because in his eternal form he is Rupa Manjari, Rupa Goswami, and in sadhaka form he is Rupa Goswami. So yeah. Okay, so I was just showing you the places. Okay, now we come to the last part, which is the stages of remembrance. There are 5 progressive stages. I think I need to maybe stop sharing and share again. Let me do it. Okay. Okay, Smaran Avastha, the stages of remembrance. So first, Prabhupada says Smaran. Actually, we have to start doing Smaran. We have to add. Right now, we are just doing, most devotees of Vedi, like doing just chanting and hearing. But those who have, whoa, we have to start somewhere. If someone wants to start somewhere, that Smaran has to be added to our sadhana. Smaran of Krishna's pastimes. Initially, it would be recollection with interruptions. Obviously, interruptions will happen, you will not have. But then you practice, and then next stage comes absorption, where the recollection happens without interruptions. And then it becomes concentrated, where it becomes dhyan, meditation, concentrated, constant remembrance, constant meditation. And also then it becomes anuspriti, where it becomes spontaneous meditation that starts happening all the time. So all these are advanced stages, anusmriti, where you don't even need to make an effort. You are already doing smaran all the time, like you're just go there. And then final comes the say samadhi, which is spiritual trance, which is complete, unobstructed, one-pointed anusmriti. So these are the progressive 5 stages of progressive Krishna smaran, which are mentioned in the purport, and this is coming from Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also. And Prabhupada quotes this in the purport, that these are the progressive stages of remembrance. Now, one thing we have to understand, smaran cannot happen without mind, and mind will not cooperate like if it has impurities. So that's why it's important to stay away from impurities. And that's why Rupa Goswami previously gave instructions in the beginning to not mingle with non-devotees, because otherwise at one side we are becoming impure, and then once we too much have attachment, chit chat, and then we get influenced, because they will put materialistic thoughts. Okay, buy this property, buy that property, stock market, this, that is the only conversation, how to increase more money. And because we are at that, still not at the perfect stage, we are not even any of this stage, then that goes on in our subconscious mind, and we automatically start thinking about. So those are the hindrances on that path of smaran. That's why there was this instruction not to associate with worldly minded people, because they will only talk about worldly minded things, and that is a hindrance on the path of bhajan, because unconsciously our mind goes there on those topics, and we start chasing those items, materialistic things, right? We will not even know, but we start chasing, our mind start chasing or hankering for those things, or we want to better our material situation. Like someone buys a big house or somewhere, and we say, okay, I can get you this, or this, I have no. Automatically, subconsciously, mind start chasing, okay, how can I have that big house or big car, whatever. So, and then we become unhappy in our current situation. Before that, we were happy, we were content, but the moment someone puts this thought in us, and automatically mind goes there, because the mind is still not pure. So that is what we have to watch for, like bring back the mind. That's why Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, when the devotee on the path of Vedi gives up material desire, I no more material, I don't want to make any of material advancement. I don't want to waste time in making material progress. Wherever I am, whatever is given by Krishna, I am content. And let me invest my time seriously to follow the bhajan math. Because time is limited, everyone has 24 hours. Now if you spend time in chasing the material things, then you won't have time to practice bhajan, particularly. So then the progress will slacken, like we will be slack, will be behind. That's why devotees are sometimes finds it even difficult to complete 16 rounds, right? So then it's difficult to even think about Rakanuga Marg, because if we are not having time, then how will we find time for Smaran? And how will we find time to hear Krishna Katha? All this time has to be taken. Like our Guru Maharaj said, like if you don't have time, then fix your schedule in a way that you find time. There is no alternative. We have to zigzag and reduce our worldly duties, reduce our working hours, and find time for doing this bhajan. And that's why I say, like, the main qualification is the lolium, which is the innate desire. Because if we have that, then we will give up everything else, and this would become a priority, right? For example, like sometimes devotees get attracted to going to Vraja, at least in Kartik month. No matter what happens, they go. So there is some kind of attraction getting developed, which is good. But sometimes people get stuck with other things or not having time or whatever XYZ reason that is. But somehow or the other, we have to develop that attraction if we want to enter Raganuga Marg. I think that's it about it. Yeah, that's it. Now, so that finishes verse number 8. And for those who want to go further deeper, like I just finished this, you can hear His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhu's classes on same verse, and he will give you much more elaboration, and he will more things, like 3-4 hours of classes and 4-5 hours of question answer on those classes. So if someone is interested, then hear those classes. That's what I would recommend. Whatever I speak is not there in some of the part. Most of the stuff is coming from my his explanation of these verses, because sometimes in ISKCON, like when I did the Nectar of Instruction, I didn't even knew that this verse is only for Raganuga Marg. So most of the time, people just explain this verse as a Vedi Marg only, but that's not true. So when I attended his classes, that's when I got to also know that this is applying to Raganuga and what is the meaning of Raja, what is the importance of Smaran, all these things. So if you want to go one step further, then hear more directly from him. Because we did this Nectar of Instruction in 1.5 years. So it was, here we are doing in, let's say, 6 classes, 12 hours, compared to 60 classes of 2 hours, so 120 hours. So 10% only we can cover in this course, because there is a time limit. If there is no time limit, then you can go in depth, and you can, there are like 160 hours. And nobody in ISKCON has done to that level, as far as I know.
So
Because
these are